The fuck? Which way shall I go? I think I'm gonna go down here where it's more well lit. Because, like, what is... Yeah, I'll go up there next. And I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna have to go down there and fuck with those gross bellied mosquito things. Like, I don't want to. But when does FromSoft care about what you want? An NPC. When do they care about what you want?
You're a hunter with your sanity, aren't you? Must have taken a wrong turn, then, eh? Well, we're more alike than you think. This is the hunter's nightmare, where hunters end up when drunk with blood. You've seen them before. Aimless, wandering hunters slavering like beasts. This is what the poor fools have to look forward to. So, don't be brash. Turn back before it's too late. Unless you've something of an interest in nightmares.
I'm just gonna say nightmares are fascinating because I don't want to like cancel myself out of anything.
Oh yes, I see. You sense a secret within the nightmare and cannot bear to leave it be. As if the spirit of Bergenworth lives on within you. Such inquisitive hunters will relish the nightmare. But beware. Secrets are secrets for a reason, and some do not wish to see them uncovered. Especially when the secrets are particularly unseemly.
Okay, but where the fuck are your shoes though? Like, are you that broke? You losing that hard? But in all seriousness, I like look at his belt. I think it's so cool when the NPCs like there's like they show that they use the same tools as us. Like when Father Gascoigne uses the same gun or a gun that you can get, I believe. I think he's using the hunter's pistol, I'm not sure, but I know he's using the hunter's axe. That kind of stuff just to me really hammers in the lore because you're sitting here telling me that hunters use these tools, like use things like the little lamp, like the guns, the trick weapons, and then we actually see people who are labeled hunters or that we know are hunters using these things, like the knives. I think they said Henrique, that was his favorite weapon. It's like in Dark Souls when you're coming across certain undead. It's annoying in gameplay when they're drinking the Estus because they're healing and you're trying to beat their ass, but it's cool for the lore and aesthetically because it's just like you know they're undead too because they're drinking Estus and that's that's your thing too.
Beware. Secrets are secrets for a reason, especially when this.
I think that's. I saw a screenshot of this guy before, like his head. I don't remember his name though, like at all. Yay! Wait, yeah, it is okay. Yay! I recognize this architecture. Don't tell me things that aren't true. Don't get my hopes up. But he was talking about how, like, I guess this is for people who take it too far. You see, the door wasn't even here yet. I wonder, like, wasn't it like at some point they were saying the church got added onto or something happened within the church that it was like, I can't remember. But I'm wondering if that's the case, if whenever that something happened, that this is the result. Like, they started adding, like, the upper cathedral ward was built, and so this area got transformed to be an elevator. They closed off from Old Yarnum because, they didn't want the Yarnumites coming in here just like that. That's why they closed the gates on Nights of the Hunt. They opened a back exit out and made, like, Tomb of Udin, because we know that Udin is, I'm pretty sure he's a great one as well. I'm pretty sure. Are they called great ones in this game? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Udin is a great one, just one that we can't see. Something like that. Let's just check that right quick, because I've already said it, so. Yeah, the great one, Udin. Lacking form, exists only in voice. So maybe, like, once they started getting more in contact with the great ones and or in contact with the Great Ones and started dealing with that, they started building the church to revolve around that. Like Uden gets a tomb. Upper Cathedral Ward, that's where they house a Breedis. So a Breedis gets like her own whole ward of the church. Vicar Amelia, they turn that cathedral into where like Lawrence. It's Lawrence. Like, don't forget I said that. It's Lawrence. They turn that into his place, like where his skull is on the altar, because now there's an amygdala there, and there's amygdala bodies around here. So was the church? Was the School of Menzies? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I need to brush up on my lore before I start talking about these things. But if the School of Menzies predated the church, which I don't know, I don't think it did, because I thought people left the church and then founded the School of Menzies. I really can't remember, y'all. I'm sorry. But if it did, wouldn't that be interesting? Like maybe the church used to worship Amygdala, and then maybe they stopped worshiping Amygdala, and then maybe they stopped worshiping Amygdala and then started focusing more on like the Great Ones or something, and then they separated at that point. Maybe that's what made them separate. Like they're like, no, like what happened? Like I liked it when we worship this guy or this thing, and they're like, no, the Great Ones are where it's at. Like we got to focus on that. So they split up, and the church went to more focus on the Great Ones, and they went to focus on like Amygdala and the nightmares and all that good stuff. Constable gloves. I forget what a constable is. I just had this conversation with my mom. Like, we were talking about old titles and stuff that we don't really hear too much anymore. Or we don't hear too much over here in America anyways. Once upon a time, a troop of foreign constables chased a beast all the way to Yarnum, and this is what they wore. The constables became victims of the beast, except for one survivor who in turn devoured the creature whole, all by himself. The fable is a favorite among Yarnumites, who are partial to any stories of pompous, intolerant foreigners who suffer for their ignorance. It makes the blood taste that much sweeter. That is interesting. And I just want to state, like I said, I am really rusty on the lore, and I have never been as well versed in Bloodborne lore as I was in Dark Souls lore, or as I am. And I'm not even the best with that, so let that set the tone for where I am here. I'm just trying to, I'm just guessing off my rusty memory, and I'm completely open to being debunked or, you telling me what's actually up, because that's what I want to know what's up. So if I'm wrong, tell me. That's cool. As far as this little tidbit here, the constable gloves, they really do not like foreigners in Yarnum. I was watching Paradigm Shift recently, who's back, by the way, on YouTube. So if you used to be subscribed or whatever, yeah, then go subscribe again. I love that guy. He's great. Before I go, let me focus on what I'm saying before I go down here. He pointed out that this could be speculation, or it may have been stated or something somewhere, but that Yarnumites were taught that foreigners are the ones who brought the plague in the first place. I can't remember why. I think he explained it. He explained it in his first video for his Dark Souls, his Bloodborne playthrough, and I really suggest you go check it out. But and I'm gonna link it below. But he pointed that out, and that's interesting because they really don't like foreigners. And I mean, for the obvious reasons, they don't want to open their doors to you when you get here, because you could be lying, you could be a beast. We saw what happened in the Forbidden Woods. That guy was acting like a human being, talking like one, but he was really a beast, and you know what happens if you invite him to the church. And then you have the actual Yarnumites, where, I mean, what am I saying? It makes sense why they wouldn't want to invite you in, because you could be a beast in disguise. You could be crazy. They don't know. Or if they open up their doors, there's no telling what else could be, what could be watching from afar or want to get in or what have you. So that made sense. But if they are being told, that guy, he just does not want to be still. If they have also been told, and foreigners have also brought the plague, it explains why they're not highly favored, aside from the obvious reasons when you first get here. Okay. So I ran past those guys. There is one that crawls out of there, so yeah. Fuck with it at your own risk. Yeah, that looked like it wasn't gonna open up. Are those dogs? Cause I can. Is it like, why is it every game dogs are just like, no pun intended, dogs are just, I mean, they are just the worst. Fuck! I am not about to die to dogs over here. I can't. That's terribly embarrassing. But like Resident Evil, dogs suck. Silent Hill, dogs suck. Dark Souls, dogs suck. Tomb Raider, dogs suck. Like, they just are always the worst enemy. Okay, crows. I'm getting a lot of paths to go on here. Okay, oh god, it's one of those whip hunters. I started to go back to Huntsman's. Ooh, trying to tie in 2 games again. I started to go back to the Hunter's Dream. Yeah, you come over here, because I want to deal with you. Before I deal with him. I started to go back there and get some Molotovs, and then did not. I could try to. Oh yeah, I parried. I was like, I could try to parry you, but I'm not the best at parries. Let me not the coffee. Okay, and then I did it. So let that be a lesson to you. All right, you can. I wish you would come on. What just happened? What's up with these bodies in the ground? Is that like aesthetics? That's terrifying. Because Bloodborne wasn't scary enough, you know. Like, no, let's take it up an unnecessary notch. Okay. Alright. What am I doing here? I need to definitely get my, because I farmed like a ton of Quicksilver bullets. I rarely ever call on the Hunter's Tool. I am a magic user. Like, I'm a caster. I'll try to make battle mages in the Souls series. In any game that I can do that in, but particularly in the Souls series. And I'm not really allowed to do that here. Okay, so they're letting you know there's a ladder. Yeah, look at that. That's really cool, but it's really scary at the same time. I don't like it. No, I love it. Let's just go up here and stop playing around before we get clapped. But yeah, I'm a casting character. I'm a ranged character if I'm allowed. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but like I kind of am.